Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hints of Hisui podcast. My name is Nurse Ethi, and today I am joined only by you, dear listener. Yes, it is another solo episode where we're just gonna kind of hang out, you and me, and whatever topics you've given me to kind of talk about, because I don't know what the original plan was, but a lot of our plans are usually focused on collaborative, like going back and forth, not really rants. And I don't have the energy to like rant or be angry about something. I've already had my episode where I've talked about different like regional variants and how like I've seen too many fan games just turn Wooloo blue and call it Blueloo, and suddenly it's a whole new species, or why, like, there's no explanation for things, and that's why if you ever hear me say Blueloo, that's where that comes from. They made Wooloo blue, and it's a whole new thing. They didn't do anything else to it. They didn't, like, try to turn its hair into bubbles or anything like that. Like, that... It's lazy, you know? I've seen too much of it. But enough about that. Mini rant. I was told, Ethi, please talk about the insert name jam for hopefully the last time. So what we have is the insert name jam awards. They have everything except for the community choice. They have the most improved award goes to Alterax with Pokemon Peppermint. I've been told that they, when they submitted, they at first only had like one island and still had a lot of like kinks that were just not looking too hot to my understanding. So to see that they got most improved, and they are like, they came out with a game that it's probably going to take like, I don't know how long it's going to take me. I'm going to be honest. Y'all are going to get this the day after I play this is my 5th stream of Peppermint, and I've only beaten one of the bosses. So sweet mercy. So definitely had when there's a lot of content, a lot of room to improve. So that checks out. Next is Cairo for best use of the theme for Detective Hatham. Sadly, I have not played this game, so I don't know anything about it, except I do know that the version that was submitted for judging, like the halfway point, it was a little bit buggy, to say the least. My webcam's trying to be weird. I mean, I know why it's trying to be weird, but I'm trying to fix it, and it's just not wanting to work for me, you know? Like, I have to look in a very specific spot to look like I'm looking forward, but then for me to check and make sure that I'm looking forward, it's... Anyway. Detective Hatham, best use of the theme, which I'm very excited about. The theme was surprise, which definitely surprised some of the people that were trying to figure out what they were going to do, and I don't blame them, because surprise is a very vague kind of category. Like, what is surprise? Like, surprise can be a lot of things. So yeah, gotta give them credit for that, because I mean, I don't know. I've never made a game before. I actually had someone in my DMs the other day, like, tell me more about some of the games that you've developed, some of your favorite projects from EV Expo. I'm like, oh, no, friend, I'm sorry. We've got the wrong idea here. I've never developed a game. I am a player. I play the games and then tell the developers how good they did, or kind of hope they don't see my streams when I complain about how bad the game is. I hate to say that, like, I don't want to be a negative Nancy when I'm playing somebody's game, like any game, but especially like a little indie something like a fan game. I don't want to be negative, but when you got a stinker, you gotta call it what it is. Like, at least, like, I like to think that I try to make it at least a little humorous, where like we're trying, like we're giving feedback, but also like there is seriousness, there is a little bit of lightheartedness, because I don't want to be like, this game was terrible and everything about it was bad, the mapping was bad, there were no overworld shadows, I don't know, stuff like that. I try not to anyway. I try not to. Sometimes I'll notice some little things or say something, but I try to keep things kind of positive. But yeah, I don't know anything about game dev, and I don't know what I would have done for Surprise, so seeing anybody using the theme was fantastic. And then last but not least is Reek with the most polished with Pokemon Ranger Star. And oh my gosh, yeah. Like, this game is buggy. Like, I'm gonna call it buggy. It is buggy. But this also doesn't use the traditional battle system that you see in every game. So it makes sense that some things are going to be a little more tricky than others. Like, Tangela Stun doesn't work. Whenever one of the bosses is doing something, it randomly just crashes. You know. But some of that's just, it happens because it's not as used compared to the traditional battle system. So it makes sense that, like, it's probably not going to work perfectly every time, and that's fine. That's fine, because it's still playable at the end of the day. And I mean, we had enough fun about it. If you want to know more about it, go watch last episode. That's where you're going to see more of our in-depth thoughts. I'm also I want to emphasize, I'm recording this episode with a little bit of sleep. When I recorded last episode, I don't remember if I got any sleep between that episode and work, because usually we record on Thursday evening. I get off work Thursday morning and then sleep until roughly when it's time for us to record. So I think I was just really tired. I don't remember. But Ranger Star definitely had a lot of challenges with the battle system, and I mean, it just happens. If more people start using it, maybe more people will start patching it and improving that kind of battle system more and more, and I hope so. I'd love to see more of these real-time battles like we're expecting to have in Legends ZA. Oh, should I have spoilered that? Oh no. Oops. But yeah, I think that's going to inspire more people to do more real-time battles, especially with the story. The story was definitely getting somewhere. I hope they do end up continuing. I know Reek's gotten to finish his last, or he made a DLC for his last Insert Name Jam game, where there's a DLC for it now, which Glacial Chronicles looks really good. I mean, of course it looks good, it's Gen 2, but I'll eventually play it. I haven't played it, and I'm sitting here telling everyone else to play it. Isn't that just how it goes? Um, I guess that's about it for the insert name jam stuff. So next on my list is I asked you, dear listener. I asked you on Twitter and Blue Sky from my account, and Cade retweeted it on Twitter. I should have told Wolf to retweet it on the Hints of Hisui, like our Blue Sky, but well, anyway, I got a couple of people asking a couple of pretty good questions, I'd like to think, or at least good talking points. We'll start with Twitter. Haunted Ditto. Pokemon Smash or Pass? Pass. I'm not. No. Just all 10, 25 of them pass. There you go. We're passing on all of them. No. I I might, for certain monsters, like, no. Like, I get it. Just no. Something about it just feels wrong, you know? Like, it makes me genuinely uncomfortable when, like, whenever people talk about, like, Vaporeon, I'm like, someone needs to be put on a list. Please. Somebody, anybody. Please put this person on a list. I'm scared. I don't trust what's going on here. Help. I don't feel safe. I need an adult. I'm 30 years old. I need an adult. So pass. All of them, pass. No. That's all I know to say is just nope. I'm good. I'm also somewhere on the asexual spectrum, I don't know, where I just don't care for, like, personal, like, I'll make all the jokes in the world, but I just don't care for it personally, you know? Shrug. Next is Radical Raptor. Could be fun to speculate on either the direction of the series is headed after Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet, or maybe look into Legends Arceus versus what we know of Legends ZA, and talk about the connections there and if that says anything about where they're headed. I really like that. I really like that idea. I think that's really cool, but I would feel this would be a fun discussion with more people. Like, I can speculate. I can sit here and say, yeah, I think it's going to be more of just go wherever, and maybe they'll even do some of the, like, level scaling that you'll see in stuff like Tempo Rising Abstract, where, like, you just, like, there are certain points that that you can just go to, and the level just kind of scales with, like, certain things, like with your highest level Pokemon or something, which I'm pretty sure I used when I was playing Abstract. I'm pretty sure I cheesed it one time, if I'm remembering right. One of those games that uses that same kind of level plugin, it only checks your party. It doesn't check your PC. So I said, okay, maybe if I take my highest level Pokemon out of my party, because it was like a good 5 levels higher, what if I swap it out with something that's level like 19? Like, everything else was in the 40s, I put a level 19 Pokemon in it, and oh my god, battles got so much easier. So that would be kind of, I don't know. I don't know how the Pokemon Company would be able to do that. But yeah, they're more, again, I'm not a game dev. I don't know how any of this kind of stuff works. I don't have that kind of mentality. I can sit here and and you can tell me, okay, this I'm taking this medication. I'm like, okay, I understand that this medication is this type of like, I don't want to use examples. I don't want to use an example. Just, you're taking this medication, which means it interacts with this other hormone or this part of the body by inhibiting this or aggravating this, or gives extra like this, blocks certain receptors, increases for this or something, and this is the intended end result. I can do that all day. And I know that like that's essentially what game dev is at its core, is I type this word and this is the intention that it's supposed to have. But then you forgot a comma. You forgot a comma, you forgot a colon, and now instead of people walking, they're gliding, no feet movement, just gliding. I'm just like, yeah, I'm good. I did almost go into computer science when I was younger, but I'm happier in nursing. As much as like, or I say I'm happier in nursing, I'm happy / content with where I am. I mean, I am a VTuber, so am I really? Am I really? I don't know. Wow, I got really off topic for a second. So I could see them I could see the Pokemon Company trying to implement something like that where they do some kind of level scaling, but I don't know how they would do it. That's going to be the tricky part, because now that they're doing open world, more and more open world, it's going to be difficult no matter what they do. Because if I can just walk over here and suddenly everything's level 92, that might be a problem if I just got my starter Pokemon. Might be just a bit of an issue, you know? Which I know they usually like spread it out where it's like the further away you are from the start, that's where you're gonna see stronger and stronger Pokemon. Of course, that makes sense, but also like, what if I want to just explore first and not worry about all of the high level Pokemon and just explore everywhere? So I don't know. They can come up with something probably. And then, I don't know. I don't know. And then when it comes to stuff like connecting Legends Arceus and Legends ZA, I'm not seeing a connection except for more of that, like, it seems Legends games are going to be more like action RPG opposed to like action RPG. Let me look that. Hold on. RPG. Yeah, closer to action RPGs, which definitely hits a different market than Pokemon usually has. And I think that's good. I think that's good to like kind of broaden the horizons of what kind of games are available to what kind of trainers. I think that's good. I like that. Sadly, that's all I can really say. That's all I really know. Because I don't see a whole, like, we used to think, oh, Legends games are going to be like set in the past and have all of this like lore and everything. But then we got ZA and it's like, oh, this is actually going to be set in like a more modern day Lumio City where they're doing all this stuff. So it's not like, it's not what we originally expected. So I don't know what kind of connections they'll have, except for like probably more hints of people from other regions, like maybe Hisui, hints of Hisui, hee, or just other regions in general. Like we had, I guess it can give us a chance to kind of explore more of the Pokemon world as a whole, where we're not just looking at like we're getting to see the expanded families, or we're getting to see ancestors, or I think it'll give us more of like a roundness to the world where these people are supposed to be made to feel, at least to some degree, I would think they're designed to be some kind of alive. And I think using the Legends games to do that would be a really interesting way to go about it, to kind of flesh out more of the world. And I think that's kind of what they're going for, especially with how Sinnoh / Hisui was such or Sinnoh, modern Sinnoh is so baked with all of this lore and all of this stuff that has to go into all of these legendary Pokemon. Going to the past and seeing more of like the birth of Sinnoh proper, the Diamond and Pearl clans, and the region expanding and understanding the Great Sinnoh. I think that was a really cool way of tying it in, and I'm interested in seeing how that's going to work for ZA, because ZA, there's still a lot to know, and Kalos especially is nowhere near as lore dependent. Xerneas and Yveltal felt like they were just kind of thrown in at the last second, and there was no looming life and death kind of or not death, what is life and destruction, I think is what they call it instead. I think they call it destruction instead of death. Yeah, life and destruction. There, or at least personally, I didn't really see as much of imagery of there being any kind of balance or anything like that. You kind of saw with Sinnoh with the statues of the legendary Pokemon, and you had the Sinnoh creation myth with the Canalave Library. You had the mural in Celestic Town. You had a lot of stuff that you were able to learn so much lore about. And Kalos just kind of felt like, here's a new world to explore. We don't understand Mega Evolution, and maybe that's what some of it's going to be, is maybe not the history of Mega Evolution, maybe the future of Mega Evolution instead, because Pokemon seems to be on a past future kind of kick right now. And I think especially when you look at Generation 8, how we had a remake and then a Legends game that was set in the past. That's two ways of looking at the past. And then Scarlet and Violet come out, and we've got the future. We've got one for the future, one for the past. And now Legends ZA is very futuristic looking. I'm wondering if this is kind of a theme that they're using for two separate generations, where Galar's kind of... Ooh, actually. Galar's past was a very important thing. And then they were all Chairman Rose was so intensely worried about the future that he knew that he could bring up the past to quote unquote save. Ooh, am I onto something? I might be onto something. I don't know. We'll just have to kind of see as things progress how ZA ends up coming out, and if they end up doing anything else for Generation 9. Because I know Generation 10 is right around the corner, probably going to be probably next year at the rate things are going for the 30th anniversary. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do. So as much as I want to say anything, I don't know. That's the big thing. I have no clue. I have absolutely no clue, but I think this would be a much better discussion if I had other people to kind of bounce ideas off of. So we'll just have to see. We'll have to see what the future holds. We've seen the past. And last on my list of stuff to talk about is from L. Did I say that last one was from Radical Raptor? I meant to say that. Oops. Sorry if I didn't. Oops. Anyway, this one's from L. Tell us what special guests you hope to have in the future and what games you hope people will make in the upcoming Summer Game Jam. So, here's the thing. I could sit here and like list off a bunch of game devs, like, actually, no, I don't. I'm gonna read what I put on Blue Sky. When Elle said that, I said, you just want me to talk about you. I see your plan. I'd feel better doing that with everyone else as well, especially once we know what the theme is this year, since the theme for the Summer Jam is usually like, the theme for the Summer Jam really shapes what games come out, what kind of games come out. Like, I could say I want a horror game. I would love horror. I would love more horror. And then the EV Expo team's like, oh, this year's theme is wholesome and cute. Well, I guess I'm not getting my horror game because I mean, granted, writing Pokemon horror is already really tough. But then to, like, the words wholesome horror Pokemon fan game are not words that string together very well. And would have to be, I don't even know how you would do it. I don't even know. Like, I don't know how anyone would be able to do that. So I'll say what I'm going to hope for the Summer Jam, the EV Expo Summer Jam, is a loaded number of games where I'm drowning. Because as much as it gives me anxiety, y'all, I'm gonna admit it right here on the podcast, when it, like, anytime there's another jam coming out and people are like, oh, Ethi, are you gonna play XYZ from this game? It's like, well, I don't know. Choice paralysis is a very real thing, and it's a thing that I have to struggle with on a very regular basis, especially when it comes to, like, okay, I have plans to stream this, and this. I have this long to stream these games, and then also with Hints of Hisui, it's been like, oh, the pressure's on. Like, I've got to run. So I don't know. I'll probably end up this Summer Jam. I might actually start having to record stuff just so I'm not let's see, it's usually August. Hold on, have they posted the dates yet? I don't think they have. June 30th. Oh shoot, that's soon. So it'll be, I mean, I'm sure it's like give or take a little bit. But yeah, right now it says June 30th until August 10th. Oh. So yeah, I'll usually end up like August, September, October, still be playing jam games. It takes me 3 months to play games that people made in a month. But then by the end, I'm like, I'm sure people are tired and want me to play something else. I don't know. What do I do? I guess Hints of Hisui has also helped me kind of, I don't know. I genuinely just have to start like recording or streaming more or something, because like most of my content is just jam games, it feels like, here lately, which isn't a bad thing necessarily, but it's definitely when I also want to kind of expand on what I play, it definitely can be a bit of a hindrance, I guess. Yeah, it's just a bit of a hindrance. I'm definitely like, I haven't talked about this with anybody. I'm definitely gonna take a good chunk of July and not worry about playing Pokemon at all. Like, genuinely probably gonna take at least 2, maybe 3 or 4 weeks and not play Pokemon, just for the sake of cleansing my palate. Not cleansing in a bad way, but just like, I've got a hankering for something else. I want to play some other games on stream for a little bit, and yeah, why not? And the last part of L's thing was really it was the first part, but I ended up focusing on Summer Jam stuff. The first part was special guests I hope to have in the future. Well, okay, here's the thing. I have some people that I want to have on the podcast. Honestly, it's just a matter of scheduling with them. And some people have already said yes. Some people have said no. Some people weren't sure about like scheduling issues and stuff like that, and that makes sense, of course. But see, if I told you, like, oh, I would love to have like so-and-so, well, for all you know, that's already a confirmed guest. Or maybe they're not. But then what if they see the podcast, they're like, who the is this guy? Ew, get away. Your fangs and your ears. Why do you have 4 ears? What do those ears do? What do you need 4 ears for? To listen to men? I really do. Like, if you see my, like, if you watch my model, you can see I do have ears on the side of my head as well as the top of my head. I mean, they do come off. We don't have to talk about that. It's so, like, it's weird seeing my, like, they come off, but it feels wrong. Like, I used to think, oh, I'll probably just not stream as much with the ears, but I've gotten to where I like the ears more. Like, the ears just kind of fit. Like, they feel right. Or maybe it's the shape of, like, maybe it's this, I don't know if it's the head, I don't know. But yeah, like, if I sat here and said, oh yeah, it would be great to have, like, I'm trying to think of, I'll use Aki as an example. I love you, Aki. Thank you for being my example. Like, if I said I would love to have Aki as a guest on the podcast, and then she shows up, it's like, oh, Ethi was hitting at it the whole time. It was right there. I can't do that. I don't want to ruin the surprise of who all we've got planned to eventually involve in the podcast, which I genuinely don't know when we're going to be having another guest, but hopefully soon. I just know it's not this episode because it's just me. But that's okay, because I'm having an okay time. As best as I can anyway. This is, we're only 30 minutes in. This usually goes for like an hour and a half. And I'm just like, there's no way I can yap for almost 2 hours. There's no way you get one. I'm sorry. Y'all don't even get one. We're like, I don't know, like, solo? No, absolutely not. I wish I could. I wish I was that powerful. I'm not. But, I don't know. I think it would also be funny if we end up with an episode that's just me and Crimson Tie, because he's one of my good friends and one of my moderators, and I think it would be funny if one episode was just the two of us just having a regular conversation like we have in my night talks, on my server. Shameless plug. That would be kind of funny, especially since we talk all the dang time. The chemistry is there, the friendship and trust is already there. It's kind of nice. I don't know. I don't know how to really talk more about guests without accidentally saying oh, we've already asked so and so, they said no. This person said yes, but scheduling issues, or I can't say that. And honestly, I don't know if anyone said no. I think it's been more scheduling issues, and that's fine. If it weren't for scheduling issue, well, actually, I'm gonna say scheduling issues suck, because that's how you got this. Me just ranting at the microphone for however long this ends up being, and I do apologize. Please forgive me. Especially my poor throat is going to be dead by the end of this. Plus, I usually stream right after recording Hints of Hisui, so my poor throat's going to be spent. Just talking into a microphone, you would think wouldn't be that taxing on your throat, but there's a level of projecting and making sure your voice is clear that does kind of mess with your throat just a little bit, and if you're not careful, can do some not great things to your vocal cords. Please remember to also do some vocal warm-ups, or have some sort of I have this spray called Vocal Ease that Guz has gotten me into, and it is so nice on my throat just to feel my vocal cords just relax and open up almost immediately. It's kind of nice. It feels nice, and it also doesn't make me feel like garbage after trying to talk or do stuff for 12 plus hours sometime, that occasionally. Or more often it's what, 3, 5, we'll say 6 hours. If we start at 6, I'm done by midnight. And even then, sometimes I end up not realizing that I'm still using the streamer voice. This is still my normal voice. This is still my normal voice, just a little bit more animated and a little bit more projected. I don't know. I don't know how to word it. Maybe it's just I know it's not just me. I don't know if Wolf and Cade also kind of have that. But at least I can say for myself yep, streamer voice is real and it hurts when you're not careful. That's why my birthday stream, I had to tap out once I got to Mistralton City, because my throat was so tired. I could have kept going for a little while, but my throat said, nope, absolutely not. So this has turned into, hey, don't forget, maybe take care of your throat. Drink some water. Actually, everybody, all of you, if you're listening to me right now, go drink some water. Go drink some water right now. Here, I'm gonna drink some right now. Yeah. Staying hydrated on the Hints of Hisui podcast. I really don't know what else to talk about now. I think I've covered everything that I was going to talk about. Let me double check my list over here, make sure I haven't forgotten anything. Let's see. Insert Name Jam Awards. Where I think official games are heading. Smash or pass. Future guests. Types of games for the Summer Jam. Okay, so yeah. I guess the last thing I'll talk about before wrapping things up is the VTuber SummerSlam coming up next week from the 25th. I forgot to look at my calendar before saying that. I think it's the 25th through the 29th, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, that is the correct dates. The 25th through the 29th, the VTuber SummerSlam. I will be doing a bunch of Pokemon stuff, including metronome battles with Chase the Red Fox. We're trying to raise some money, get some of those go-karts in hospitals where it's just a self-contained gaming console with a monitor where kids can play video games while they're in the hospital. Last year, Cade shared a little bit about how a program similar to Gamers Outreach was in one of the hospitals that he's had to be in when he was younger. And they had some star athlete, I don't remember. It's been a year since we talked about it. I just remember him mentioning that he had to be in the hospital and shared that about they had someone come in to just lift the kids' spirits, because being in the hospital sucks. Like, I spend 36 hours a week minimum, 48 on average. And sometimes if I'm feeling extra ready to do bad things, 60. I mean, the money makes it worth it, but so much overtime, so much time in that darn chair behind that desk with pain in the butt patients that I can't talk about too much. Like, I genuinely, like, there are so many times where I'm like, y'all, we gotta talk about Ashley. Ashley's not her real name. We gotta talk about Ashley, chat. But that's a rant for another time, for not this podcast. We're talking about the SummerSlam, which is also why my background's a little bit different. Because I'm over here for the SummerSlam. If I just kind of, it's so pretty, love it. Those guys at Gamers Outreach have some incredible artists that made this beautiful sky and sunset. Just overall, I'm excited for this SummerSlam. Hopefully people will like the rewards that are coming out. We'll see. I don't know what else to really say. I'm sorry, this is such a bad outro. Please support Gamers Outreach during the SummerSlam if you can. Of course, if you just showing up means the world to me. If you can, donate if you can. Don't spend your lunch money. Like, if you need that money for food, please get your food first. But if you can, consider it. Let's go into a great cause. Make life a little bit easier for children, especially if you have to be in the hospital when you're, and honestly any age, but especially if you're like 10 years old or something. That's just one of the worst times to be in the hospital, you know? And having just a little bit of video game time to kind of forget that you're in the hospital, it's pretty nice. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today's episode. Thank you for being here, and see you next week for something else. I don't remember our outro. Dang. I'm just gonna use my outro because I think that's what I did last time. So thanks for being here. I'll see you guys, or at least I'll say we will see you guys next week because I don't remember my own schedule right now. So we'll see you guys next week for something a little more put together. Until then, y'all, take care and don't forget to take your medicine. Bye-bye.